Hello, my name is Mauricio Uribe Gravito, and I'm going to present the work I did to solve the problem situation of INI, modeling and decisions for the sports market. Join me. First, the program. This is the step-by-step to get to a solution. The order in which we will review the work done will be as follows. First, what are we dealing with? Second, brands with higher growth rate. That's the first problem. Second, brands with higher growth rate. That's the second problem. Then, optimizing the budget. That's the final problem. And finally, the feasibility of using a chatbot. That's the final problem. Let's go. What are we dealing with? In this problem situation, we are collaborating with the company INE. And what does INE does? INE is a company that offers consulting services for small and medium-sized companies that are interested in starting the transformation to the digital world to use technological advances to their advantage. Now, who is sports marketing? Who is the sports marketing company and who is Gonzalo? Sports marketing company is a company created by the entrepreneur Gonzalo Acosta, who decided to start this business to carry out the marketing of sports products throughout Mexico. Now, what is the sports marketing company facing? This company is facing the severe problem of not growing at the pace they had expected and of having to compete against other existing companies by using innovative strategies to grow in the sports resale market. Now, what is the challenge? They want to know what will be the best way to invest through digital media so that their website is triggered at a national level, and if the result is positive, they will be willing to open new stores in the near future. Now, the first problem, brands with higher growth rate. INE knows that COVID pandemic lockdown brought with it many negative things, but they also know that it brought with it opportunities in the world of e-commerce. The solution. First, we have to understand the searching trends. Considering the Google Trends information, at the time of comparing the three different brands, Adidas, Nike, and Puma, I was able to find out that Nike has always been the brand that has generated the most interest in the last 5 years. Now, the consequences of the lockdown. The main changes I could notice from this point on is that all three brands saw a small dropout in searches at about the same time. But immediately these searches began to grow exponentially, leading Nike to search levels it hadn't had since 2019. Now, the JOY, or year-over-year growth indicator. To calculate this growth percentage, it is necessary to have the initial value and the present value. First, we need to subtract the initial value from the current value, to then divide the result by the initial value. Finally, now that we have a result, we need to multiply that number that we obtained by 100 to find the percentage increase. And now, what's the ideal model? Well, the ideal model is the triple exponential model. The triple exponential smoothing model turned out to be the ideal model for the following year's sales forecast because the value of the difference between the actual and forecast value is smaller, which means there is a smaller margin for error for the company to work with. Now, the investment. With a hypothetical 10,000 pesos investment and the results of it, we were able to determine that the company will have 67,356 results in sales with 10,000 pesos on, off, and line advertising investments, which would be entirely positive for the company, since according to available data, the highest amount they have reached has been very close to the number they will be generating if such an investment were to be made. Now, the insights. By using passport information, I found that there will be some relevant insights that the company might like to include. I was able to find relevant insights as all various distribution channels, the different types of advertising, the customer segments, competitors in the market, the environmental crisis, and how it affects. I now to enrich the analysis, I think the company should use other elements from Google Trends and Passport. Now, the problem number two. optimizing the company's budget. INE recommends Gonzalo to use Google Ads for 30 days as a pilot. So now the goal is to prepare optimization models that maximizes the number of potential conversations started, defining the number of days to invest on each ad. The solution. In order to solve the second problem, we need to formulate it in the right way. So the next step was identifying first the decision variables, the objective functions, and the constraints this problem had established. Now, after using the graphic model and the Excel solver to find the optimal solution, I was able to find the next useful data. The campaign can reach 588,000 clients in 30 days. The campaign will cost approximately 4,269 pesos from the budget. In case that the campaign increased by 1 day, the conversation started will rise to 608 after the changes was made from 19 to 21 daily conversations to solve the hypothetical situation. The graphic ad mix of the browser went down to 0, while the QD mix of the graphic ad went up to 30, and the conversation started per day went up to 630. Besides, the budget needed for the entire budget went down to an important $3,900. Now, the optimal maximization. So after making the calculations and procedures for the optimization of conversations started per day, the determination is that it is necessary to have a budget of at least 403,000 to reach the optimal maximization. Consequently, the optimization would only be affected depending on the amount of money that will be cut in the budget. Now, uncertainty elements I would like to consider after showing the results. These are the dependency on internet connections and the saturation that we can find in the future. Now, the final problem, the feasibility of a chatbot. INE knows the importance and relevance of a chatbot, channeling customers who access the website and have any kind of doubt. INE considers that the chosen configuration should comply with a specific characteristic, and that is to give the potential customers attention in less than a minute. Now the solution. The operation now features of the two available options, the chatbot 30 and the chatbot 60. The chatbot 30 can give service to 30 customers per 60 minutes. The service of this chatbot will cost be 70 pesos per hour, and the waiting cost will be 12 pesos per hour. Now, the chatbot 60 can give service to 60 customers every 60 minutes, and the cost will increase to 23 pesos for the service per hour, and the waiting cost will be 12 pesos per 60 minutes. Now that we know the performance of both configurations and how do they match up against each other, we can conclude that a configuration that has the highest feasibility of meeting the expected customer demand is the chatbot 60, since this is the one that offers a lower average time in the queue for our customers, as well as a lower number of customers that will even have to be in the queue before being served when compared to the chatbot 30. Now, the advantages and disadvantages. Among the advantages that could have the use of this type of technologies, I have identified the next. Increased satisfaction at the time of entering the website by the customers. Increased likelihood to customers will return to visit the website. Increased likelihood that customers will find what they were looking for or resolve any doubts that are preventing them from making a purchase. A feeling of peace of mind for customers who have no doubts, since they can realize that the company has the right tools to answer them. And among the disadvantages of using this type of technology, I have identified the next. You can lose money in case the traffic level of the website decreases by having to keep paying the chatbot no matter what happens to the traffic. And if you don't choose the right configuration, you can lose potential customers who decided to leave the site once they had to wait too long to be served. The considerations that should be taken into account to make a responsible use of this technology in business are whether they will meet the needs that your business requests, or how close it will be to do along with the costs that your company can afford. So now that you know the solution to every problem, I thank you, Gonzalo. On behalf of INE, we invite you and look forward to continue moving towards the future of your company. Thanks.